In this video, I'm going to cover how to use your pads separately from your keys in your MPK Mini 3 inside the MPC 1. Check it out! So I've had this question asked several times on the channel, how to use your pads separate from your keys on your MPK Mini 3 with the MPC. So this is going to work with the MPC 1, the MPC Live 2, the MPC Live, the MPC X. It's going to work with all those devices. So go ahead and check this out if you have any one of those items, but let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. So I have an empty project loaded up on my MPC 1. There's no tricks here. I'm not doing anything fancy. So I'm going to show you step by step how to do this. So go ahead and go to your menu, tap this icon at the top. It's like a little gear, and then make sure you go to your MIDI sync tab. Okay, so this is your preferences inside the MIDI sync tab. You can see all the input ports and all the output ports. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in my MPK Mini. If you haven't, go ahead and plug yours in. Now you can see right here it says MPK Mini 3. It might say something different. Just whatever it says, that's the one you're going to make sure that you have active on track. So right here where it says track, make sure that's highlighted. Okay, if it's off, make sure you turn it on. Now there's going to be another setting that's by default set to something different than what you need. So make sure you do change this setting as well. So right here is a sequencer tab. Tap that. Right here it says record arm. Now by default it's going to be on single. Make sure you change that to multi. So when you change that to multi, you're going to be able to arm multiple tracks at the same time. And that's what's going to enable you to go ahead and play your pads and your keys at the same time once you set up a couple other things. So let's go ahead and go back to our main and load up a drum kit and load up another sound like a bass. So I'm just going to load up a drum kit, nothing special here. So I just loaded up the first drum kit that's in here. Let's go back to main. So that first drum kit is on track 1. If you don't have anything loaded here, go ahead and load up that drum kit. And then I'm going to go to track 2 and use a plugin. And by default, I have bassline as a plugin. All right, so once you have something loaded up on your tracks, go ahead and go to track view. So this is the preferred view where you can see all your different ports at the same time. Now, right here is where we're going to select our particular keyboard. In this case is going to be that MPK Mini 3. So I'm going to pick that there as an input. And then underneath that, I need to select the particular MIDI channel. By default, it's going to be set to all. So what we need to do is change it to input 1 if we want to use the keyboard. Now our drum pads are going to be on input 10. Now this first track has drums on it, so I'm going to put it on input 10. Now I'm able to play my drum kit. And then when I hit my keys, nothing happened. That's because the keys are on channel 1, our drum pads are on channel 10. Right here is where you would set that. So underneath here, I can change this as well to MPK Mini 3. And then I'm going to change this to input 1 for the bass line. Now you notice nothing happens. That's because we need to actually arm the track right here. Now remember the setting that we used when we went from single to multi. This is why you go ahead and change your record arm in the preferences from single to multi, so you can go ahead and have multiple tracks armed on your MPC. Now if we didn't have that on multi, we would only be able to arm one track at a time. But when you arm 2 tracks at a time, we're able to play the keys and we're able to play the pads. So I can play them at the same time. Now, I'm not a keyboard player. I'm not really that coordinated, but I know a lot of people are, and they want to be able to play both at the same time or have the option to switch from one to the other and not have to mess with anything on the screen. And this is what's going to give you that ability. Again, I'm not a keyboard player. I'm just showing you that this is actually possible, and that's how you do it. And just in case you didn't know, we want to have our monitor on, okay? If we don't have our monitor set to anything, we're not going to be able to hear anything. If you actually set your monitor to in, you don't even need to arm these. You're going to be able to play them anyway. The point of arming them is you're going to be able to actually record and overdub if you arm them. So you do need to be careful with that. If you have these armed, you're going to be able to record both tracks at the same time. But if you just want to hear either or both at the same time and not actually record, set your monitor on in. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So if you have everything set up how I show you right here on the screen, and you got your monitor set to in, you're going to be able to play your pads and your keys, and they're going to play 2 separate tracks. If you put these on ARM, you're going to be able to overdub on multiple different tracks, and that's going to enable you to go ahead and record your performance. If you want to record your performance, you can do that on your MPC. If this video has been helpful at all, make sure you go ahead and like this video and share it with somebody. I know a lot of people have been asking about this, so if you can share this with people, it's going to help clarify a lot of questions about this, and it's going to help a lot of people out. If you want to see more videos about the MPC1, click or tap the screen over here. If you want to see a video that YouTube thinks that you will like, click or tap the screen over here. My name's Matthew. I hope you do continue to make music because it's fun. We'll talk soon. Peace out, y'all.